Hi everyone, I was just wanting to create this video so you guys can see the Korg Kronos 3 side by side with the Korg Kronos 2. Basically, the only difference you're gonna see is the color, is more black, darker, like matte looking on the Kronos 3. The lettering is more darker on the Kronos 3 versus the Kronos 2. You can see it more white letters. Also, like the knob is black on the Kronos 3. So pretty much you're getting like a blacked out Kronos 3, which I like it. It's pretty nice. The size, you're gonna notice that they're a lot thicker than the ones on the Kronos 2. You can see they take a little bit more space. So I'm gonna try my Korg Kronos case that I had bought for the 2 and see if there's any difference. Basically, guys, I noticed that the screen is a little bit more matte looking, like, not as shiny. If you look at the Kronos 2, it's a lot more shinier. This feels a little bit more softer. The plastic on the top, this feels a little bit more, I don't know, the different and just kind of more plasticky. But as far as that, guys, we'll see what the real boot time is. I took all the expansions, disabled them, and there's no samples or expansions on either one that's going to be loading, so you guys can see the actual load times on these two. So I'm going to turn on the Kronos 2 first, and then I'm going to try to do as fast as I can the Kronos 3 so you can see the actual boot time. And here we go. So turn both of them on, just half a second difference on, but I did it on the Kronos 3 so you guys can see what the actual load time is. Like I mentioned, just to be fair, I took all the expansions or samples. They're not going to be loading on either one, so you guys can see the actual difference, if it's actually a big difference in it. So the Kronos 3 is already finishing up, and there it's done already. The Kronos 2, and so you can see that the version is 3.1.4 on the Kronos 2. The Kronos 3 has the 3.2 version, and it's not available for download at the moment. You're not going to be able to find the 3.2 to update your Kronos 2. So maybe later on, Korg will make an update for the Kronos. But like I mentioned, it's probably not going to be any difference or any big differences in the updated version. Maybe some slight differences they did on this one because maybe it has a new processor or something. So, like I mentioned, so pretty much you're gonna get double. You're gonna get double the space on the Kronos. You can see here that it has 104 gigs, so it probably has maybe like 120 gigabytes at solid state drive, or 128. So it's probably double the SSD drive that the the Kronos 2 has. On mine, the Kronos 2, I already updated the SSD drive. So originally I had like a 62, and now I have even more than the Kronos 3 at the moment. Like you see 109 gigs. Over here is like 104 gigs. So anyways, basically it has the same amount of RAM. I do notice some differences. I still get a lot of, freezing up. Sometimes if you go into global mode and, you push your KSC auto load, and, like you can tell sometimes that, it's normal. It kind of takes a little bit to go into the next page. And so the Kronos 3, it does the same thing. See, like it takes a while, to change the page, and it does that with different, depending on what pages you're selecting, what options you're selecting. It kind of like freezes up to get time to get to the page. But I still noticed that on the Kronos 3, I was hoping that they would fix that issue. It's not a big deal, but sometimes you hate waiting and then you don't know if it's frozen like permanently or something, or you have to turn it off. But Anyways, that's pretty much it, guys. There's a new Kronos 3 and the Kronos 2 light side by side. What I'm gonna do, guys, I'm gonna see if I can update my Kronos 2 with the 3.2 version. Even though it's not out, I'm gonna try to get it installed in there, hack it in there. So we'll see how it works out. But anyways, there's probably not much differences, but I would like to get it to Kronos 3. Like I say, I was able to load my samples from the Kronos 2 and my PCG file without any issues to the Kronos 3. I haven't done it vice versa, so I don't know if it'll work or not, but I'm pretty sure it will. But I'll let you guys know if it does. So we'll continue. Now this is the back of the Korg Kronos 3. It's like nice shiny aluminum, and then the back of the Korg Kronos 2, all black cover. You can see his little differences, but other than that, it's just not black. But anyways, we're gonna see what's inside. Okay, guys. Well, I just uncovered the Korg Kronos 3, and as you can see, just so you guys can take a look inside how it looks, big difference. So you can see it has a new motherboard, different motherboard. You can see that number. Let me try to see what. There's the motherboard model number, and as you can see, it has the memory, RAM memory here. Just so you guys can see what type of memory it uses if you guys need to like swap it out. This is a 4 gig PC3L -12800S BBB 10 B1. I think it's the same one that the Korg Kronos 2 uses, same type. And then as you can see, there's the M-SATA. Now we don't have no more. There's a 128 gigabyte mini SATA there. And so right over here was where the SSD drives on the original Korg Kronos 2 were. And we used to have a fan right here on the Korg Kronos 2, but this is the 3. So you can see the differences. There's a lot more empty space because they look like they used up less space with some of the boards, even the power. And so there you go, guys. In case you guys wanted to know what it had inside, it does have a mini SATA, and that's 128 gig. I'll probably upgrade that soon. So there you go. That's how it looks inside. And just so you guys can take a look on the inside the new Korg Kronos 3. And so that's probably the difference of the speed, but you know, the processor on the board probably makes a difference too. So it can probably handle a little bit more, because SSDs would normally go here. Okay, so I'm just removing this SSD mini SATA. So there was one screw that I just took out, and it was just tied down to that little post like you see right here, little black screw. So and then it lifted up like that. So I'm just gonna take it out, and so you guys can see the exact size of it. So you can see it's 128 gig, 511-250, 102810, but it's a mini SATA, so they should all be compatible. Anyways, that's how it looks. There we go. So the information's right there. This is a Phison M-SATA, and that's in case you guys need like the right model number and stuff. But yeah, there you go, guys. Well, that's the difference. Okay, guys. Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clone my Korg Kronos 3 SSD drive. I'm gonna clone it to another SSD drive. You know, and I'm gonna see if it works on the Kronos 2, and if it does, it should have everything the Kronos 3 has. I mean, of course, the expansions probably might not be like active or enabled because I don't have the authorization codes for those, but at least the 3.2 version will be already in my Kronos 2. So this is what I'm doing. I'm just gonna clone them and we'll see what happens from there. As you can see here, you know, just side by side, you can see like the lettering is more darker. I kind of like it like that's better, nicer, like just all black, like a limited edition black kind of, you know, black edition style. Other than that, everything else looks pretty similar as far as your gold, you know, inputs and stuff, and your 3 MIDIs and your USBs, USB-B. The switch is probably a little bit smaller on the 3 than on the 2. As you can see, is a little bit bigger. But other than that, you know, you're just gonna notice some big difference on the side. It's a little bit more thicker on the side panels. It might be an issue for the case that I have, so I don't know. But other than that, it looks cool. Okay guys, moment of truth. I just installed a new SSD drive with the operating system 3.2 that I copied from the Korg Kronos 3. Let's give it a try. Let's see what happens. So it's booting up. So far so good. Okay, so now it says reauthorization required. So I got my USB ready. I already have my authorization. Got it right here. I just downloaded it just in case. Normally when you swap hard drives or you copy from another Kronos, you'll have to authorize it. So let's see what happens. Okay, it says reauthorization successful. Please turn off power and turn back on. Let's do that. All right, folks, I just turned it back on after the authorization was successful. Let's see what happens. I'm just excited to see if it works. So far okay. Let's see how far we get. All right, see some progress going on. See what it says. Let me cover that light. Kronos music workstation. There it is, guys. 3.2 is ready to go. 3.2 operating system. There we go. So far, everything that I had previously. There we go. I mean, it looks like it's working, guys. Let me see. So right here it says 3.2.0 operating system. Do you see all these expansions that are here? Most of them say demo because obviously you have to, you know, have the authorization codes for those. You know, I have the first 2, but I think, but yeah, we got a 3.2, guys. 3.2 operating system Korg Kronos 2.